What's happening? This is the OG Bronknut 719, West. And you know, I never thought I was going to make this video, but I had to make a video and say something about this. So for those of you who don't know, the Chiefs and the New England Patriots played in an epic game last night. What an awesome Sunday night football game. Very exciting, went right down to the wire. But if you didn't watch the game, the Patriots scored, putting the Chiefs down and made it look really bleak for them. And then in one play, one quick 12-second snap, boom, Tyreek Hill catches one, gets loose, and takes it all the way to the end zone. But when he gets to the end zone, one of the New England fans throws beer on him. Now, I didn't see this happen in the game. I probably wasn't really paying attention, but it's come out all over the papers today that Drew Rosenhaus, who's Tyreek Hill's agent, and he's the agent for a lot of players and probably some Denver Broncos as well. He's a very notorious agent that's been around the NFL game for a long time. Drew Rosenhaus said that he wants the New England Patriots to remove that fan's season tickets and prosecute him because NFL players should not have to endure these types of things when they're on the road from opposing fan bases. And while I agree that that sort of fan conduct shouldn't happen, it happens all over the place. I've seen it happen in the black hole. I've seen Broncos fans get stuff thrown on them when they were inside Arrowhead Stadium. I've seen Bronco fans do it to other fans. It happens, and it's a black eye for the NFL that fans can't be more civil when they go to these games. But now we've gone as far as that agents want to have fans prosecuted for throwing beer. And here's what's ironic about the whole situation for those of you that don't know the backstory on Tyreek Hill. So at one point, Bill Snyder, the head coach at K-State, who was in the Big 12 at the time, called Tyreek Hill, who went to Oklahoma State, the fastest man on the planet. And, you know, he pretty much shows that every Sunday. He's got electric, lightning, world-class speed. But in 2014, Tyreek Hill had a girlfriend that was pregnant with his baby, and they had a night out planned, I think, to go to the movies or something, if I recall what the story was. And somehow they've gotten to some sort of argument, and allegedly Tyreek Hill punched her in the face a couple of times, was choking her, ripped her shirt, and took her cell phone and threw it down the hallway, which I assume was like in a dorm room or an apartment complex when they were in college. And she was obviously upset. She went to retrieve the phone, and when she came back to the room, he had shut the door on her. And there was some people out there saying that he kicked her in her stomach or punched her in her stomach. Anyway, the cops came and investigated this, and they did find a torn shirt of hers that was in his room. And she did show up to the police station with some scratches and bruises. And Tyreek Hill actually went down after being kicked off the football team and the track team, and then also removing himself from school at the university, came and made an official statement that he put her in a headlock, cutting off of her airway, and that he did this wrong, but he didn't say that he had punched her or anything like this, but this is what he said he did. He headlocked her and cut it off her airway and admitted that she was pregnant. He admitted that he did this. And so he essentially pleaded guilty to it. And then he got 3 years probation. And just this year, his probation is now up. And his charges of what he did and admittedly did got expunged. They got expunged off of his record so that nobody will ever know that Tyreek Hill put a woman who was pregnant with his baby in a headlock and choked her out and allegedly punched her in the face and in the stomach, which pictures show in these reports that there's a good probability that this sort of thing happened. Now, the Chiefs, right, sorry-ass Chiefs, have always been an organization that has bragged and prided themselves that they'll only take character people on their roster. But after Bill Snyder calling Tyreek Hill the fastest man on the planet, then GM John Dorsey and head coach Andy Reid said, look, we've done a lot of looking into this kid's background, and you're just going to have to provide some level of trust with us here. That look, this kid said that he did this, and I don't have a problem with he did it, he got probation, which I guess is your punishment for headlocking and choking out a pregnant woman these days. And then did his, probation, and he's come back, and now it's been expunged from his record so that no one will ever see it. how somehow that's okay, but a fan throwing a cup of liquid beer in a rival stadium in a big game, in an emotional game on this player, thinks that Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, thinks it's enough. This fan should have charges brought against them and also have their season tickets removed forever. You know, like, it's just the hypocrisy of the whole thing. Drew Rosenhaus should have never said anything about this. Tyreek Hill went back to the sidelines. Apparently, Andy Reid told him, say, look, man, it just comes with the territory. And Hill, to his credit, has come out today and said, you know, look, I'm not even mad. I mean, it comes with the territory. Well, it doesn't come with the territory, Tyreek Hill. This is not something, as a player, that you should expect just comes with the territory. I do think that it's something that you could expect that could happen in a rival stadium in a charged-up emotional atmosphere, you know, on a world stage. I think that's something you expect could happen, but it shouldn't be the norm of what you should expect as a pro athlete going on the road and traveling into these stadiums. But I hate guys like Drew Rosenhaus. I mean, the guy with the nice suit, the nice watch, and the polished shoes, who's standing on the sidelines acting like he's Jerry Maguire. And now, because his client gets a cup of beer thrown at him, wants to overlook everything that his client does. Hell, Chief Urag, you were even on here as late as last year trying to poke fun at the Broncos for Aqib Talib poking somebody in the eye, at least another human being football player, a tough guy out on the field, and saying, you know, the Broncos sign all of these questionable character guys to their franchise, and we don't do that. We don't want those sort of players on our team. Well, has everybody forgotten that Tyreek Hill did all of this just because every time he touches the ball, he runs for a touchdown? Look, it's not sour grapes with me. I'm just pointing out the facts. Tyreek Hill's become the next Devin Hester, even better, probably, returning kicks and getting open as a wide receiver and making big plays. And now, because of that, everybody in Kansas City's forgotten this horrific thing that he did to a woman. And now, you know, they don't even want to get in his face about his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, saying that, you know, they want this fan to have charges brought against them. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And if I was the Chiefs organization, especially Tyreek Hill, I'd be embarrassed to have my agent be Drew Rosenhaus. And probably the principal person that I am, I'd drop Drew Rosenhaus and go sign another agent, because really the fact of the matter is that it don't matter if Tyreek Hill has Drew Rosenhaus as his agent or not. Tyreek Hill is that good, that elite, that fast, that he could have me be his agent and I'd get him the same money that Drew Rosenhaus is going to get him, because it's not about the negotiation skills. Your client has the goods. We know you want it, and here's how much it's going to cost, and the organization's going to have to pay it. So I just want to chirp in on my 2 cents on that. I mean, look, every team's had their fair share of bad characters who have been on their teams. The Chiefs had it all the way back many a times with many players in your franchise history, and I could go back and name a lot of them. We've had them here too in Denver. We've had, you know, what was it, Clarence K beat up his girl. We've had plenty of domestic violence things happen here in Denver, and every NFL team's had it. Everyone has had it. So don't be out here, Chiefs, on your high and mighty horse saying, well, we don't have those type of character people on our team because we don't feel like that's the right way to, you know, holding yourself to a different standard. When you're not holding yourself to a different standard, you have just as many thug criminals that put on your ugly red and yellow colors as any other NFL team does. And the worst part about it is somehow through the Chiefs' money or Drew Rosenhaus or Tyreek Hill got it expunged off his record, so nobody's ever even going to know about it 20 years from now because the man's fast and he can return kicks and score touchdowns. Joke. Absolute joke. This is the OG Bronknuts. 719 West. Calling out these fake Fugazi agents. Drew Rosenhaus, you're ashamed. You're ashamed of the NFL, and you should be embarrassed the way you represent your clients. I'm out. See you tomorrow, suckers.